Welcome to DirtTrackFreaks.com, the weekly podcast that's slinging dirt coming out of Turn 4, with your host and head freaks, Craig and Sean. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at FreaksTracks, and on Facebook at Dirt Track Freaks. Freak Nation, it's time to get your freak on.
Welcome, race fans, and thanks for joining us on DirtTrackFreaks.com. We're live here today with Jeremy Shields. Jeremy is the Marketing and Sales Director for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. You can follow Jeremy on Twitter at JShields89. Jeremy, we appreciate you joining us here on Freak Nation on DirtTrackFreaks.com.
Thank you, Sean. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, man. We are live, Jeremy, at Golden Isle Speedway. We're just a week out from Speed Weeks. As a matter of fact, last night I believe there were some cars here testing at the Speedway, getting ready for the Super Bowl of racing right here at Golden Isles. Talk a little bit about what Lucas Oil was doing here last night.
Yeah, it was more than anything. We were just we're from Ohio and it's cold, so we wanted to get down here where it's sunny and warm, and we got lucky enough. There was about 10 to 12 teams here testing last night, and no other intention other than just hanging out and getting familiar with things again and enjoying the sunshine.
Well, it's a little cool today, a little breezy right here, but we've got a good outlook for next weekend. Hopefully we want to be able to get both races in on Friday and Saturday. But I'm sure, Jeremy, with as much change that will happen during the off season, and there's a lot of these guys that are, with new teams trying to get the cobwebs knocked off. It's a great opportunity for them to get in the car. I know Devin Moran posted some stuff on Twitter last night. I think it was his first time climbing in the Dunn Benson Ford. But talk a little bit about those guys who look good on the track. What all was going on?
Yeah, there's been a lot of shakeup in the off season, as it's been typical that way the last couple of years, I guess. But like you mentioned, Devin Moran in the Dunn Benson Ford house car ride there, I guess you could say, and he looked really good last night. They were kind of dejected early and wasn't all that great early on, but by the time they finished last night, they were looking good and they were excited. I know Kemp Lamb and his wife Kathy and Wayne and everybody there at Dunn Benson Ford, they're really excited about having Devin. Devin's a young man, talented driver, very mature, respectable young man. So they're excited about their new hot shoe there. So
exactly, comes from good bloodlines there too.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Yeah, so we've got Josh Richards, who made the switch to Clint Boyer Racing there at the end of the season, and that was probably one of the earliest announcements, I guess, as far as driver changes go. And so with that change, obviously his father, Mark Richards, is the owner of him and Steve Baker own Rocket Chassis, and so he brought that with him to Clint Boyer Racing. So and that's a change for Don O'Neill, his teammate, who's been driving the Club 29s with Daryl Lanigan the past couple years here. So Josh looked really solid last night on the track, and he was one of the fastest cars out there from the start of the night, actually. So they're excited about the season. Don O'Neill had some mechanical issues early on, but they got that resolved, and they were also really strong last night. So both of those teams they're excited about the new year and what it has to bring for them.
Right. And some sponsorship switch-ups there for Clint Boyer's, where Don O'Neill's been the peak car. That sponsorship is switching over to Josh Richards. And then Don O'Neill, I believe they announced yesterday, signed a deal with DeKalb, and he's going to be there. That's going to be his main sponsor for this year.
Yes, that's correct. And that just, like you said, that just came about yesterday, and but they're excited. So it's looking to be a good year for Clint Boyer Racing.
Exactly. And we know Josh Richards loves this place. Matter of fact, he won both races here last year. And in the Saturday race, any betting man would have never thought in a million years that he had a shot to win that race. I mean, he literally drove onto the track just as the cars came around to take the green flag, started dead last, and I think 25 laps into the race was leading it. It was just a phenomenal race for him that Saturday night after winning the Friday night show as well. And almost didn't win the Friday night show if we didn't have Bloomquist spin in turn 3 or 4. I think that we might would have saw Hudson Mason's first victory last year.
Yeah, no doubt. And that brings up another good point. Obviously, Hudson had his hiatus there at the end of the year, had to have shoulder surgery, but he's already been back behind the wheel of a car out in Arizona earlier this month with the Wild West Shootout there. Had a lot of success out there, so that young man's also going to be somebody to watch again this season. So
And we got a few other changes, I should say. Tyler Erb, I think, is switching cars. Talk a little bit about him and some of the other guys that are switching rides.
Yeah, so with Josh going to Clint Boyer Racing, Tyler Erb is actually filling the void at Best Performance Motorsports there, and he'll be partnered up with veteran crew chief there, Randall Edwards, and they were also very strong last night. Tyler and Josh were one of the top 2 cars here testing last night. So the future for those teams looks really strong, and the battle within the series for the championship this year looks as good as it's ever been.
Right.
So.
Now, I know a couple of years ago when Richards came over from World of Outlaws and started running Lucas full time. Is there anybody that you know of that's coming from the other series, or we're pretty much going to have the same regulars that we had last year?
Yeah, other than Devin Moran, Tyler Erb, our roster looks to be fairly close to the same. We have a lot of people who's interested and shown interest in running the tour. Shannon Buckingham out of Tennessee has expressed interest. He's going to start the season with us here at Speed Weeks. Ryan King and the Warrior House car is going to start the season with us at Speed Weeks. So there's probably 15 to 20 guys here who are going to come down to Georgia, Florida, and start the season with us, and just see how it goes for them. And that's kind of been the motto here recently. Is teams will just come down here, they see how they are leaving Speed Weeks, and then decide from there how they want to continue. So, and really that's the best advice I can offer anybody is just come to see Speed Weeks and see how you line up.
Exactly. See how you stack up against the competition. Speaking of competition, I know Tim McCready's going to run again this year. There's a lot of speculation last year that he may switch rides, or he may switch crew chiefs, or he may switch teams. But I believe he's going to be back in the Longhorn car again this season.
Yes, yeah, he's back with the Longhorn team again. They did make the change to Bill Stein shocks. So Bill Stein shocks brought a lot of sponsorship there. And for those that don't know much about Bill Stein is a major shock manufacturer. Not only do they make a lot of OEM shocks for your average consumer vehicle, but they've been a championship caliber shock in the off-road industry for many years. Last year they had 2 championships in the Lucas Oil Off-Road Series. So very well known, very competitive shock manufacturer, looking to get into the dirt market, and I think they'll do well with Tim McCready.
Right. Yeah, it's a good car to be associated with. Of course, when we finish up here next Saturday night, everybody be loading up, headed down to East Bay, down to the Clay by the Bay. Alan then puts on a great show. Going to be 6 nights of racing down there. Looking forward to heading off into Florida when we leave here. Yeah.
As nice as the weather is here, it's even nicer down there. So we are definitely excited about that. Like you said, we'll leave here Saturday night. We'll head down to Tampa to Al's place there. We'll have a practice on Sunday evening from 6 to 10, and then Monday through Saturday, just a complete show every night. So,
right. Now, but correct me if I'm wrong here, Jeremy. Only the Friday and Saturday night are your points paying races down there.
Yes, that is correct. Only the Friday and Saturday night are championship points earning events. It's $5,000 to win on Monday, $5,000 Tuesday, $7,000 to win shows on Wednesday and Thursday, and then $12,000 to win shows on Friday and Saturday with championship points those nights.
Yeah, when I looked at that, just checking comparing the 2 series and all, and it looks like if you're a late model dirt driver, there's a lot more opportunity to win money on the Lucas side than there is the World of Outlaw side from a prize money standpoint. I mean, for the one race alone at the end of the season in Portsmouth pays $100,000 to the winner, which Josh Richards was able to win last year after that was only his 3rd race that he won all year long. But I mean, the money seems to be here if you're a dirt late model driver.
Sure. There's definitely we definitely hold a lot of the marquee events. You mentioned the $100,000 to win Dirt Track World Championship. There's a lot of $50,000 to win events on our schedule with the North South 100. The Topless 100 pays $40,000, and then obviously in 2018 and it'll be back in 2019 with the inaugural Dirt Million there. It paid a record $202,000 to win. So that's the highest paying dirt late model event since Eldora's Million there. So very exciting times for Lucas Oil Series. There's been a lot of obviously with that kind of money comes a lot of competition as well. So it's just I can't say any more about where we are. We're in such a good spot right now.
Yeah, it should be a great season. I know it just seems to grow every year and every year and every year. Bigger crowds, bigger prize money, more cars, more competition. I mean, there was a lot of racetracks that the drivers showed up to for a 24-car starting feature. There's 75 cars in the pits last year.
Yeah, it's tough, but I wouldn't discourage anybody from coming to our events because anything can happen. We have a lot of local and regional international guys that have won races, won big races. Just here a couple of years ago, Michael Page, a local Georgia driver, won the Dixie Shootout.
Exactly. Yep, I've been in Woodstock. I believe that was 2 years ago.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 years ago. So anything is possible.
Well, it should be a great season, Jeremy. Appreciate you joining us here on DirtTrackFreaks.com. Again, Jeremy's the marketing and sales director for Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. You can follow Jeremy at JShields89 on Twitter. And again, buddy, looking forward to Thursday night coming down here and checking out some cars on the track for practice. And then, of course, we'll be getting after it on Friday and Saturday of next week. I believe that's February the 1st and February the 2nd.
Absolutely. We're super excited to get the season started. For those fans that can't make it, obviously we want to see you at the track and come hang out with us. But if you can't make it, all 9 Speed Weeks events will stream live on lucasoilracing.tv. And then for the first time, we'll be live on MAP TV Motorsports Network the next Friday and Saturday from Golden Isles, and then Friday and Saturday from East Bay as well. So plenty of opportunity to catch the race. And if you're up north like where I'm from and it's cold and you've got the cabin fever, there's plenty of opportunity to catch some racing here in the next couple of weeks. So
yeah, it should be a great series, Jeremy. Again, appreciate you joining us, and we'll catch up with you later on in the season.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you for everything you do.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Thanks for listening, Freak Nation. Join us here every Tuesday as we give you a new podcast right here on DirtTrackFreaks.com. Till next time, let the rough side drag.